Hello. I'm starting to realize that this is the best time of day to do this because look at all the light. I have all the sun beating down on me through the sunroof, or what do they call it? Skylight. That's it. um so I figured I would just try to remember to do this at this time every day, um, which will work out okay since, I don't have to be at work till 1, and I don't do a lot of the fancy editing like I used to. Like I said, I used to have a different vlog several years ago. I did it on fitness and weight loss. And I did that for quite a while. I lost like 75 pounds. But, of course, I have also gained 75 pounds. So I'm kind of back where I started. It's a struggle, y'all. I mean, it's just constant. But anyway, with those videos, I used to do a lot of editing and, music and intros and, just a lot of different things. I tied multiple videos together. I did all of that. And first of all, YouTube has changed. And I haven't figured out yet how to use their new editing stuff. But I also really just don't have the time. And this is more about me just, rambling and venting about, whatever. And just trying to keep myself focused and motivated. And that's really what this is about, because I find it. I hear my dog. Oh my gosh, Wesley. It's just tough being a little brown dog. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about now. It helps me stay focused and motivated. Did I say, am I repeating? I don't know. There you go. So yeah, I wanted to go into a little bit of, when I lost the second job, the job that went so horribly wrong. I became so panicked and so like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to find a job, because this is going to just be a horrible barrier for me. Anyway, I went to our state vocational rehabilitation program. Basically, they assist people with disability. I had a hard time making that call because I've always been prideful, I guess, and I've always hated saying or claiming that, my dyslexia was a disability. And the fact of the matter is, yes, it is a difference. And yes, I am just as intelligent as the average person, but it does create barriers. It creates a difficulty in life, So I went to the vocational rehab, and let me tell you, that process did not help me much at all. They make you go through all of this testing just to verify that you have what you say you have, and that you qualify for their program. So for the first time since I was like 11, I was tested. My intelligence was tested. My abilities were tested. And it's interesting because in school, I did the same thing. But I remember sitting there at the test, taking the test, and thinking, oh, I did fine. I did great. I knew how to spell all those words. They didn't give me hard words at all. They gave me all the words I knew how to spell. Well, I forget that in my head, in my mind, it's right. But in reality, it's not right. So, it was interesting. I mean, they were like, the report, they don't call it dyslexia anymore for some reason. I don't know why. I guess because there are so many different aspects to they're learning so much about, the neurology. No, Rachel. The neurological aspects of the brain and how it works and how everybody is different. And so anyway, they call it a specific learning disability. But and my specific learning disability was in reading and mathematics. And if I had stopped reading at the point where it said overall intelligence score 78, which is borderline mentally handicapped, basically. I would have probably felt like, there you go. I am stupid. All of those things that everybody said all those years, they're right. See, it's right there. But in that report, in that very report, immediately after reading that score, it went on to say, these results cannot be trusted. There is a significant difference. There is a significant improvement in my verbal and my nonverbal score. So basically, in my nonverbal, I scored borderline. But in my verbal, I scored of average intelligence. So it just goes to show that you really it's hard to test the intelligence of somebody who is dyslexic and get an accurate representation of, what their true intelligence really is. So I thought that was really interesting, and going through this whole process and having to go through the testing and the psychological evaluations, and even though I didn't really gain anything from it, she ended up telling me, well, I want to help you, but we don't have the funds to really help you right now, and you are in a position where you have to get a job and you have to get it now. So, sorry, ta-ta, good luck. I was like, okay, thanks for nothing. But it was interesting, and it helped me learn a lot of things about myself. And it's really kind of put a fire in me to really learn more about me and this dyslexia that I've had my whole life. Up until recently, I had never really sat down and really researched it, because it was just always who I was. And and especially when you're a kid, you just think, this just means that I can't read well, and I can't spell, and I can't memorize or learn my multiplication facts, or I can't do division. I mean, all these things that That's all I knew. But now that I'm an adult and quickly approaching my 40th birthday, I wanted to look at it more from, what's really going on and helping myself understand basically, how my brain is, what's going on up there and why it's going on and why, I don't know, not why, but it's affected me, I know why it's affected me, but it literally has made not the dyslexia itself, but the stigma or the, being told from a very, very young age that I was different and I was not as smart and I was slow, retarded, all of these different things that they put labels on. And when you're told that for so many years, it just becomes who you see yourself as. And now I'm just starting to think, that this has crippled me. I used to, from the time I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a writer. And even though I couldn't really write, I was just learning how to write, and I was just figuring out how to put words down on paper. And I always loved stories and I just thought that was very exciting that you could take the stories that were inside of your head and put them down on paper. But that has proven very difficult. But not so much that it was difficult. I think it was more about the belief in myself that I couldn't do it, or that I shouldn't be able to do it because of this, this thing that made me not as smart as everybody else. And so I let it go, literally from the time I was 6 years old until the time I really graduated high school. That's really all I wanted. I wanted to just, write. And I did for a very long time. And then you get into life and you got to pay your bills. And then there's stress. And then on top of that, there's the low self-esteem and there's anxiety. And, you're just kind of overtaken by all of it. And I lost it all. I haven't written anything in, God, years. 10 years at least, if not 15. So I want to get back to that. I need to find a way back to that. Even though it's difficult, with a working life and balancing that with, and the fact that it takes me 3 times longer to write something than it does for anybody else. It doesn't mean that I can't do it. I don't do it as fast as other people. And sometimes my thought process gets a little bit wonky. But I'm usually able to figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, somebody will help me, somebody will look at it, kind of like with my resume. I had read my resume 100,000 times over again. And after I had passed out my resume and, even, did interviews and filled out applications, and after I realized that I had a spelling error and it was I had never caught it, and Grammarly didn't catch it because it was an actual word, but I had used the incorrect spelling. The English language is just retarded. It's retarded. Why do we have two words that are the same but a little bit different, that mean different things? It's just, why? Why can't it just be? Anyway, I'm gonna go because I've rambled on long enough. We will continue this conversation at another time. There is so much to say. There's so much to learn. There's so much to. I mean, it just could be endless. So I'm gonna go now. Try to relax. All that good stuff. I don't know. Be positive. I haven't really figured out the whole mantra just yet, but do it.